Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are out in beautiful Hawaii. So we are currently in the city of Honolulu on the island of Oahu. And I thought, hey, while we're here, what videos can we do? What can we do? Let's support some local game stores. So this video, we are going to try and visit every single local game store in Hawaii. We are going to try and purchase Pokemon there, if they have any Pokemon. If they don't, we will try and purchase something. We'll show off some stores. It's going to be great. So for our first day out in Oahu, our first stop was Aurora's Collectibles. This was a nice little store inside a mall. It was actually just moving location, so they didn't have everything as unpacked and set up as you would normally expect. Here we were able to pick up a couple of cool singles and a very nice set of sleeves and a deck box that were kind of Hawaii themed, so we thought it was a nice souvenir to pick up. We then moved on to Best of the Best, and this place really did live up to its name if you're interested in any sort of sports cards. They had an amazing selection. They also had a lot of different random collectibles that I hadn't seen before. The Pokemon selection wasn't huge, but we were able to pick up a very nice Shining Fates ETB. Our next stop was Durdle Zone. Now this place looked actually a little bit bare because they do most of their purchasing online. They're a store where you can actually put all your purchases in online and then go in and pick them up once they've pulled everything out of their inventory. But still, we were able to grab a couple of singles and a couple of other cool little items while we were here. Next, we went over to Westside Comics and Games, and there we were able to purchase a Tyranitar tin, and I actually picked up a copy of Batman Flux, which I've been looking for a while. It's a very good version of Flux. Next, we moved on to a mall and actually found two stores that we weren't originally aware of when we set out on the morning. First, we went to Mini Q, which was kind of an anime-related store, a lot of stuff imported from Japan. They didn't have any Pokemon packs, sadly. They did have some Pokemon merchandise, but I ended up just buying a booster or two of Magic the Gathering. We then went on to Razor Concepts, and this place had a pretty incredible selection. Laura was able to pick up a lot of singles for her collection, and we grabbed a couple of loose boosters of Eevee Heroes too, since they just had an open box there. We couldn't say no. Moving on out to another smaller mall, our next store was Toy Links. This again was just a kind of small store, didn't have a huge selection, but we were able to just pick up a few booster packs, which we're never going to be sad at. Then in the same mall, we went on to Armchair Adventurer. Now this place had a lot of stuff in stock, just sadly no Pokemon, but they did have a very, very good gaming section, and I actually picked up a couple of Flesh and Blood boosters from this place. From here we moved on to Other Realms, and while they did have quite a nice selection, we didn't end up purchasing anything because there were a lot of Pokemon products releasing the next day, and they had all of them ready to go, so we decided to return the next day to pick some up. Our final store of the day was Da Planet. This is another store where most of their transactions take place online. You put your order in online and then go in and pick it up after they've pulled the order out. But we were able to pick up a couple of things. Laura got all of their stock of Arctic Foxes, because she just loves that card. She picked up an Island Charm from the Sun and Moon games, and we got a couple of Vivid Voltage packs. They were also kind enough to pull some old trophies out of storage so that we could hold them and pretend that we'd won tournaments that we hadn't won. Our second day of visiting the stores started with From the Heart. This store had a lot of cool stuff in it. There was a few hidden vintage products hiding around the store, but what we ended up settling for was a VMAX box. It has 4 different promo VMAXs in and a lot of different Japanese booster packs, so you'll be seeing that opened on the channel at some point. Next we went on to Paula's Sports Cards, etc. When I tell you she had an amazing selection, she had an amazing selection. Her Magic the Gathering stuff went back further than almost any store I've ever seen. It was an absolutely fantastic collection of products. We weren't able to film in here as much as we would have liked to show off the incredible sports card selection and everything too, but she did allow us to take some quick footage of the Magic and Pokemon selection, and we ended up buying another Shining Fates ETB, because you can never have too much Shining Fates. What should be the last store that we had not visited on Oahu was Glenn's Collectibles. Sadly, even though it was supposed to have been open that day, the store store was closed, so we decided we'd have to try and return at a later date. A few days later, we did also visit a flea market that is set up on the island. We picked up a sealed box of Eevee Heroes, and we picked up these singles that you can see here. There were a lot more singles that we could have bought, but we didn't want to be there all day picking singles out of a binder, but we got some very nice ones. So with that, we had visited everywhere on Oahu, apart from Glenn's Collectibles. But of course, Oahu is not the only island in Hawaii. Yes, we actually planned in a couple of days visiting Big Island so that we could try and hit some stores over there too. So after we landed and had a quick stop to show Laura the hotel that hosted Worlds 2010 and 2012, we moved on to our next store. The first store that we visited in Kona was called Toy Conquest. This place did not really have trading cards, but it had an impressive selection of vintage collectibles. And I did end up picking up a starter pack of Hero Clicks from here. Just one that I didn't have because I felt like I really wanted to have bought something from this store. It was very, very impressive. Then the second and only other store in Kona is called Four Pillars. We went to this one next on that night. We picked up a few singles. We played an interesting game that they had at the counter, which allowed us to win some booster packs, and Laura got to see a dog, which she was very, very happy about. The next day, we made the trek all the way across Big Island to the city of Hilo, because there were another couple of game stores there. We actually met up with a friend who I originally met at Pokemon Worlds 2012, and they took us to Slow Your Roll. This store had a nice selection, and I ended up picking up this very cool t-shirt. I ended up picking up a couple of singles, which was nice. We also picked up a Worlds 2012 Hawaii pin from the World Championships. We did already own a copy or two of this pin, but Laura wanted to actually get one herself from Hawaii because it was her first time ever visiting the Big Island. From there, we went on to the second and final store in Hilo called Game Escape. This was another store where we weren't able to film inside the store at all, but we did pick up a Shining Fates pin box. That completed our adventure onto the Big Island, and we returned to Oahu. We visited Glenn's Collectibles again multiple times over the next few days, but just could never find it open. We also went back to Razor Concepts, and luckily they had just gotten in the special Eevee Heroes promotional box that comes with the Alt Art Espeon VMAX, so we had to pick that up as well. That concludes our trip around every local game store in Hawaii. Obviously, we did visit them all. We couldn't get into one of them because he kept being closed, but we did visit every single one, and we made a purchase at every single one that we were able to. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. We definitely had a ton of fun making it. I do apologize for the fact that most of this video was dubbed over, but as I'm sure you all know, local game stores are not the quietest place in the world and are not always great for filming in. If you did enjoy, drop me a comment. Let me know what was the best store that you saw in the video. Which one would you like to visit most? And as always, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!